Hello guys, and welcome again to my channel. So I just want to thank you so much those who are subscribing to my channel, because that gives me motivation to do even more videos. So there's somebody who asked that I should do a video on Laravel Livewire live search. Okay, and I've done that, and I'm going to do that in this video. Okay, so in this tutorial we are going to look at how you can implement Laravel Livewire live search. So for example, here you can see I have this H1 which is search for users. You can do anything, you can put anything, but then it says search for users, and here we have the search form. So instead of typing the search query here and clicking on search so that it can go to the database and search for the search query, so to just do, you just type here whatever the search query you want to look for. So for example, here users. So if I do just type anything there, I find that we don't get any results. But then if I type, like if I start with S, you can see Simon user 3, and then Simon, this data is coming from the database. And the more I continue typing, you can see that 3 disappears, and then if I do Simon, and then now we remain with this. But then if I continue typing, you can see no users found. Okay, so this is how our application is going to work. So let's just do it. And the first thing you have to do, we go to the project. Let's just close this server first. So just close the server to this project here, and then you're going to go to another project that I've set up, and you're just going to first open with the VS Code, and then you also open 2 terminal windows here, the first for running the server and the second for doing other things like installing packages. So here you just do php artisan serve. Okay, let's minimize everything for the time being. So the server is running on port 8000, and if we just go to port 8000, you can see you have the user registration form here. This is the form that we created while looking at how you can integrate Google reCAPTCHA into your Laravel application. So this form is basically for registering the users. So you can say as whatever, and then email, and then password, then mark that and then submit. And this has been created, so you can create as many users as you want. Now in this section, we are going to look at the search, and we are going to search for those users that you are creating using this form here. So let's just go to the code. And the first thing, what you want to do, you need to have another page called users, and that is where we will be implementing that functionality. So we'll go to our code, open web.php and create another route. So we'll just create this route here, and this route it's going to be a view route. So where we are going to, so if somebody visits /users, we are just going to return a route, and that route should just be users. Okay, so that is a file that we need to create. So you should go to the views and create another file and just call it users.blade.php. And now here our user, this is the file that is going to be served when we visit the /users route. So let's go to this welcome, and we just want to copy this code and go to users and paste, but then we are going to clean the code. We are just going to remove this form here out to there, and then you also remove this, we don't need it for now. In this form you can just change it to search users. This search one, you can just change it to search users, and we'll just give it a class of h1 alert success. Right, so that is it. So let's go to the browser and try to access that page. So /users, and you can see now you have that button right there. And then we can just give this container a margin top of 5, the body I mean, and now it's here. So here we are going to have our form, and that form we are going to have it in our Livewire component. So let's just go to the window that you opened here and install Livewire by doing composer require Livewire /Livewire. Okay, we typed require wrongly, so it's going to be require. Sorry, I typed faster, so it's going to be require. And this will take a few seconds depending on the speed of your machine and the internet. Now, as it installs, let's just go to welcome here, and here you are going to have a form. So just type your form, but this form we are going to move it to the user component. So the form, we don't need this action. All right, we don't need this action, but we need input. Okay, so just here we just do input, and then type is equals to text, and then you can add their placeholder, an attribute, and it just say what are you searching for. Just like that. So if we save that and come here and refresh, you can see we have that from there, but we can give it some bootstrap class. So you can just do class is equals to form control. That's it. Now you can see it covers this width here, and you're going to create UL. So you're just going to give it a break here, and down there you're going to create a UL that is going to list all our users, right? So UL, you're going to give it a class of list group, and inside there you're going to have a li, and then that li is going to have a class of list group item. So list group item, right? So let's just enter there Simon for placeholder, and you're going to copy this text and paste down and save it. And now if we refresh, you can see now we have, this is how it's going to be displayed. Okay, I hope now it has been installed, and it has been installed. Now we want to separate this into its components. So from here, we want it to be in the user component, right? So let's just create that Livewire component. We'll go to the terminal and do PHP artisan make Livewire, and then just users, right? Just that. What did we do? Okay, the space should not be here. And you see now our component has been created. Now we have two files. So when you create a line, it's going to give you two files. The first one is inside the views and Livewire. Here you can see this component, and another one is the class that works as just as a controller, and it's inside the HTTP and then Livewire. Here you can see I have the user class here, right? So we'll go to these users. I'll go to this, not these users, but the one that is inside the Livewire here, this one, and you're going to transfer the code from this code from the form here, and just transfer it to this form here, to this div right here, and save it. So if we come back and refresh, you'll see that we lose that, but then we can always restore it. You just come to here and import that component by doing @livewire, and then the name of the component is called users, and that is it. Okay, and you can see we have that component here, but then Livewire is not going to work until we include the scripts, right? In this not here, we need to include the scripts here. Okay, now inside the body tag here, the head tag, I mean, we just do @livewire styles, right? And then down here we just do @livewire scripts, and that's it. So Livewire has been imported here. Now we are able to work with Livewire. So what you have to do is to go to, what do we need first? This form requires we need a search term. So we need the search term, and that is the term that the user is going to be typing in this field here. That is the search term, and then this is the list of users that we are going to get from that search term. So let's just automate these results first, and we'll go to user. So users.php here, and we'll just define those as public properties. So I just do public, and that one is, we are going to call it search term. You can just set it to an empty string like that, and then let's just do public users. All right, just that. And now what we want to do, and this one is rendering, this component is rendering, we want to fetch the users here. So we just do users is equals to user all. Alright, so those are all the users in our database. So if you are using user model here, we have to import it here. So you have to do use app models and then user. Alright, and then so if we have users here, this, now I said in the last tutorials that every public property here is going to be automatically passed to the view. So like we've defined here, we are going to access the whatever properties we've defined here in our user, the user component, this one here. And now this one is automated information, so we don't need it. What you have to do is to check if we have users here, and let me do something first. Let's go back to users. Now here we should not do users, we should do this. Okay, so that's how you access the public property of a class. So this, and then user is equals to user all. So this refers to this public property user here. So you have to do that and save, and then we'll go back to the user here, and what you want to do is first to check if we have users. So what we're going to do is if users and users count. So if you have users and you have at least one user and the users count is greater than 0, so we'll know that you have a user. So here we'll just do and else. So else means that maybe we don't have any user, and then here just and if. So if we have at least one user, we are going to loop through the users and display those users that we'll get. Otherwise, here we're just going to have a p. You can just give it a class of text danger, right? And then we'll just do users found using your search query, right? Otherwise, if we have users, what you want to do is to just look through those users. So we'll do at for each. So at for each users as user. And then here we end for each. So here is where we are going to look through to display the users. So we are going to display the user, and here we are going to have the username. Right, so this is going to be user and then the name of that user. That is it. So let's just save that code and go back and refresh, and now you can see we have a dynamic data that's directly coming from the database. Now there's a way that we can bind this input here with the search term in our users.php, this search term here. And how do we do that? So basically we just go to the code where the form is, and we use what we call wire model. So wire model is compared with the view model, if you are familiar with view, I mean. So just go to users, and in this form what you want to do is to add this. So just do wire then model equals to search term. So they have to be the same. So if you define search term this way on your users.php, you have to do the same on this component here. And now if we try to search something, let's just try to echo what we are searching or what somebody is typing in those in the input field. So just do search term here. Okay, let's just echo search term there, and we'll go to the form and refresh again. And now let's try to search, and you can see as I type here, we have the search term here, right? We have the search term that I'm typing here. Okay, so you can see it is updating, live update here. So that is not what we want to do. We want to get that live search term in the users.php and do something with it. So we said that users is equals to user all, right? So you want to change this. So user is equals to user where. So here where query is going to be, we are searching for the name of the user, and then we'll use like. Okay, so like what? So there we can just use that, the search term here, and then dot, and then that, and then inside here we do the search term. So the search term here is going to be this search term here. So remember that when we try to search from the front end, it is going to be updating here in live, in live, right? So we just want to get that search term as somebody types, and then what you want to do is just search for that user from the database. So it's going to be this, and then a search term, right? So, and then we have to do get. So I just want to get the results that come. Yeah, and that is it. So let's go back and try to search, and as I search here, you can see it is filtering. Okay, and as I delete, you can see. So you can see that is how it works. Okay, but then there's something that you have to do, because when we are not searching anything, you can see users are displaying here. I don't want them to display. So what you want to do is just cut this and do if. So if search term, so remember the search term by default is equals to empty. So you can just do if is empty string. So you can just do if empty search term. If the search term is empty, just empty string as it is. We just want to return the results. So just do this users is equals to user where name is equals to search term which is this, and then search term. So you know that one is going to return, it's not going to return anything because there's no user there's no empty user in our database, all right? And else, so else that means that if you have some text in this search term, you want to get users where the name is equals to the search term. Okay, so let's save that and refresh. There is an issue here, so let's look at that. This is the issue, so you have to close this. Yeah, that is it. Livewire component users public must be typed numeric. This one should be this and then search term, like that, right? So that should be this and then search term. So let's just refresh this, and what you want to do to remove, of course, always you have to remove that, and then you refresh and try it. And now you can see if we type s, you have here 3 users. You see they reduce as we continue to narrow down in the search term. Alright, so if we type just that, you can see. If we type ER, you can see the users. If we type U, you see the user drop down. So you can see that's awesome, right? So that is the live search. So I think whoever asked for that is satisfied with it. And in case you like my content, always remember to subscribe to my channel for more content like the ones that I produce.